Around the corner, how differential steering works. Wait, I feel like I watched this before. I feel like I've watched this. Is this about the axles and stuff? We wish to express our appreciation to the riders of Victor McLaglen, star of The Informer and other famous Hollywood productions, for their cooperation during the filming of this picture. Bro, the music is so loud, it's crazy. You did watch this then? It is the thingy. Wait, but this is the motorcycle. The one I watched was about cars. Wait, that's sick though. I'll never do that. Soldiers when they're bored. That's just the lead in. Oh. What the fuck? He's lying down on his head. Bro, the intro is like 50 minutes long. What the fuck? Oh, this is the car video. That's okay. Let's watch it anyway. Because sponsored by what? Harley? Or Triumph? Or Royal Enfield? I think back in the day it was, yeah, Harley, Triumph, and Royal Enfield.
Formations like these require long hours of intensive drilling and careful judgment. When
these look like Harleys though.
The riders on the outside of the turn have to adjust their speed to keep even with the riders on the inside. The man on the outside has to ride a lot farther and a lot faster in order to keep up with the parade.
True.
The outside wheels must spin faster than the wheels on the inside because they have a greater distance to travel in the same length of time.
That's true.
When a wagon turns a corner, the wheels can travel at different speeds because each one can turn freely on the axles. And in the early automobiles, the rear wheels turned separately and only one wheel was connected to the engine. But when
only one wheel
was driven by the engine, it had to do all the work.
Yeah.
And it couldn't get a good enough grip on the road to do its job properly. So the one-wheel drive was soon...
I did not know that was a thing where the engine was just attached to one wheel. That seems like really bad design, doesn't it?
...out of date. But if two wheels are locked on an axle so that they are not free to turn separately,
that would fight
one
you.
Or the other
your car would
slide.
be fighting you if only one wheel was pushing the car.
To connect both rear wheels to the engine without sliding and slipping on turns. The device which makes this possible is a part of the rear axle.
There it is.
It is called the differential
because
it can drive the rear wheels at different speeds. The differential looks complicated, but once we understand its principle, it is amazingly simple.
The principle is simple, but the mechanism is complicated because it's that one simple principle multiplied.
These two wheels are mounted on separate axles and supported by a frame so that they can revolve freely at different speeds.
At different
Let's
speeds.
fasten a spoke on the inner end of each axle.
That's a toothpick.
So that by
no, I don't think
spokes,
it is a toothpick, but it looks like a toothpick. It's probably a metal toothpick. Are there metal toothpicks?
With a bar or crosspiece, we can turn both wheels in the same direction at the same rate of speed. Let's get something to hold this bar.
Now you can attach engines to two wheels instead of one.
In place so that it will press against the spokes. Notice that this support is not locked to the axle. It turns freely. Now, we can spin the wheels by rotating the support. This is fine, as long as both wheels are able to turn at the same speed.
There it is.
But let's see what happens when we go around the corner.
That's part 1.
With this arrangement, we cannot drive one wheel faster than the other.
Because they're spinning at the same time.
And if we stop one wheel,
Both stop.
the other wheel won't budge. Let's put this bar on a pivot so that it can swing in either direction.
Yep. It's basically adding
Now,
more pivots
the bar
and
can
joints.
still turn both wheels at the same speed.
Well, not
And
joints, pivots.
Because it pivots,
Did I just say
it
pivots?
lets one wheel
Pivots.
turn
I don't know how to say
even
the word
when
now.
the other is stopped. But if turned too far, the bar will swing around until it won't drive the spokes that turn either wheel.
Now let's add
We
something
need
else.
another crossbar and more spokes to carry on the job. When we stop one wheel, the crossbars will continue to push the spokes of the free wheel around.
This is the concept of gears. By the way, the spokes, that's the concept of gears.
As long as both wheels are free to turn, the bars do not swing on their pivot,
Trust me, I'm not an engineer.
and the wheels move at the same speed. Now we have the working principles of a differential. To adapt the model for use in an automobile, we will have to make a few changes.
Is it called a differential because it's different? Because the wheels spin differently? That's probably why, right? Like, is there any other reason?
In order to reduce the jerky action caused by wide spaces between the spokes,
Make them small
we will put in
spaces.
more spokes.
Unlimited spokes.
Further filling in the
Spokemon.
spaces between the spokes gives steadier, more continuous action.
Yo!
And changing the shape gives firm, constant contact. Now we can make the gears thicker and stronger.
Thicker.
And we have differential gears.
They also made it
The
smaller.
edges are cut so that they will fit together more smoothly and silently. And another gear is added to share the work of driving the axles.
I don't understand the top part.
The principle is the same. In order to turn the
Why is there
support
another
and
one?
drive the wheels, we
Wheels.
can fasten a large gear here.
That's how my grandfather talked. Wheels.
Connected by a smaller gear to a source of power.
The engine.
Notice that the power is connected to the differential at the center line.
True.
We can make our model more compact by moving the
What the
gears
fuck
closer together. When we put our differential in an automobile, we have to leave room for the drive shaft.
You know that transition from the things to that one? It's like the drawing of an owl before in like the meme where there's just like two circles and then the next photo is just a fully rendered owl and it's perfect. That's what it looked like to me.
Which carries
Like what the
power
fuck
from the
happened?
engine. We may build the floor of the car above the drive shaft. But if we do, we won't have much room inside unless we make the top of the car high too.
Then make it higher.
Of course, we could lower the floor and ceiling, but the drive shaft would be higher than the floor. This would have disadvantages.
This is also why older cars have that hump in the middle. It's because to hide this shit.
A shaft in the middle of the floor of an automobile would be inconvenient for passengers and would be awkward for carrying luggage. Today, engineers have found a way to make the car roomier and closer to the road without a clumsy shaft above the floor. The
How?
drive shaft from the engine to the differential is lowered out of the way, and the drive shaft
Wow.
is connected to the rear axle at the bottom. The new low center drive
They also
makes
changed
the rear
the
axle
angle of
quieter,
the gears.
stronger, and more durable because it gives better, smoother contact between the gears.
Smooth.
The automobile of today, with the low center drive, is stronger and more rugged. Every part of the rear axle has been built to withstand strains far greater than it will ever meet on the straightaway or around the corner.
Why did they attach a tree trunk on the wheels? What is that supposed to demonstrate? Like, look, it's there. Oh, that's why. Okay, okay. Boomer logic strikes again. No, it's I hate to say it, but it makes sense to demonstrate it this way because you can see how slow the inner wheel, how slow she's stepping, and how fast the outer wheel, how fast he is stepping. So yeah. Initially, it didn't make sense because there was nobody hit there. Like, what? Why? But now it does. The Wheel by Chevrolet. Did Chevrolet make motorcycles before? I don't know. Boomer Logic. Yeah, but Boomer Logic gave us what we have right now. Boomer Logic created the industrial industrial age, and also technology. So it ain't wrong. Physics, am I right?